This binomial is an example of what's called a sum. Sum means addition. A sum of cubes. Cubes are things that are the same factor times itself 3 times. X cubed is x times x times x. 125 is 5 times 5 times 5. When you have 2 cubes, whether it is a sum, meaning a plus, or a difference, meaning subtract, you can factor it. Please note, you can only factor differences of squares, as we mentioned in the previous video. For cubes, it can be a sum or a difference. And either way, it follows this same exact pattern. Here we go. You are going to end up with 2 factors. The first factor is going to be a binomial, meaning 2 terms. The second factor is going to be a trinomial, meaning 3 terms. The binomial is simply the factor that you multiply 3 times to get each of these. It's called the cube root. So what times itself 3 times gives you x cubed? That's going to be x. What times itself 3 times gives you 125? That is plus 5. The second factor, that's the trinomial. Here's how I like to remember this. My firsts, whatever I have my first here, times my first here has to give me my firsts, my x cubed. So what here times x is x cubed? Well, that's going to be x squared. I'm going to skip the middle term for just a minute, if you'll allow me, and I'm going to go to the lasts. My last term here times the last term here has to be 125. So what times 5 is 125? That is plus 25. Now, the way you get the middle term, and whether it's a sum or a difference, it follows this same pattern, is I'm going to multiply these 2 things together. X times 5 is 5x, and now change the sign, and it becomes negative 5x. The reason you change the sign is so that if I was to go and multiply these things together and get all 6 terms, all the middle junk is going to cancel out, and you're just going to end up with your firsts and your lasts. There's my fully factored expression.